fourth week in Advent. So my D word for this week is delight, or that which can bring us joy. Joy would be the traditional Advent theme for the week. So we've started out in this journey with deciding on the disposition we would hold during this time. And then I suggested you be a disruptor, that to do something different than the Christmas craziness. And last week to declare good news to someone, let them know they are loved. And this week it's delight. So our yoga mats are a place that we can just cultivate that delight. It's not going to be a perfect practice ever, but it is a place where we can safely explore our strengths and our weaknesses, and mostly just move and breathe and delight in being alive. I want to read today from Brennan Manning, and he was he wrote the Ragamuffin Gospel in like the 80s or 90s. So, is there anyone in our midst who pretends to understand the awesome love in the heart of the Abba of Jesus that inspired, motivated, and brought about Christmas? The shipwrecked at the stable kneel in the presence of mystery. God entered into our world not with the crushing impact of unbearable glory, but in the way of weakness, vulnerability, and need. On a wintry night in an obscure cave, the infant Jesus was a humble, naked, helpless God who allowed us to get close to him. So sit up tall, have your props, maybe blanket strap. We're going to move and breathe and just find ways to delight in the practice. So a great practice for both the awaiting of Christmas and also once it is here. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes, just focus on your breath. Rest one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. So perhaps your intention today is something about appreciating your own self, even with the challenges, maybe especially with the challenges. Accepting yourself just as you are. And moving with appreciation for all that you can be. So take a couple more breaths. And exhaling, gently release. So maybe start to move your head around a little bit. Maybe like you're making some circles on a clock face with your nose. Go in one direction. And go in the other direction. Maybe look from side to side. All the while sticking with your breath. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And on an inhale, gently arch so that kind of cow shape, right? Lifting your chest, tilting your pelvis forward. Remember, you're your own best teacher. Exhale and hollow out, making your spine like a capital C shape. Do that one more time. Inhaling, gently arch. Exhaling, hollow out. Maybe you want to make it a little bit bigger using your arms. Interlace your hands and gently arch upward. And then exhaling, hollow out. Take your arms forward. One more time. Inhaling, arch. And exhaling, hollow out. On your next inhale, open your arms wide. Maybe palms facing up. Right. Take your arms up overhead. Maybe they can come together and bring your hands to your heart center. And then we're going to make like those horizontal figure eights with our rib cage, right? So take your rib cage forward and maybe over to the left, And then pull it back towards the middle, come through center, go forward again, and to the right, and come back. So just do that one more time. This side, around the left, and then around to the right. Come back to center, and go the other direction. So just feeling the muscles around the ribs and the hips, forward and around, and forward, and around. And come on back. You might already feel a difference. Okay, we're going to come to all fours. So I'm going to start to get our legs and our arms moving. So on an inhale, take your left arm forward and your right leg behind you. Right. And then exhale, knee to elbow. And inhale, leg and arm out. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, leg and arm out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Then inhale, take the leg and arm out one more time and take 2 deep breaths. And gently release, rock the hips from side to side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You can see I've got my Christmas cactus to enjoy, the bloom. Something to delight in. So inhale, right leg out, left leg out, right thumb forward. Exhale, knee and elbow in. Inhale, arms out, leg out, knee and elbow in. Inhale, arm and leg out. And exhale, knee in. And then take 2 deep breaths, leg and arm out. So when we can delight in nature, in a simple bloom or a sunny day, we are already acknowledging that it is a God-soaked world. Gently release. Right? Good. So curl your toes under, walk your hands one hand length forward. So we can come to the top of a modified push-up plank. We're just going to do 3 little push-ups here. So squeeze your upper arms toward one another. Exhale down. Try not to let your shoulders drop below your elbows. Inhale, push away. Exhale down. Inhale, push away. Tailbone toward the heels. Exhale down. Inhale, push away. Then lift yourself up and back for a downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your dog. And then come to stillness. Just check in with your body, do a little scan, work on dropping the heels. The legs don't have to be straight, they could be a little bit bent. Just tilted at the hip joint. Feel the tops of the thigh bones lifting up towards the sky as your rib cage comes toward your thighs. Head's just hanging in between the upper arms, fingers spread wide. Maybe push into the thumb side of the hand a little bit more. Nice. Then we're going to come to standing. So get there safely. You could hop or baby step or take your hands back to meet your feet instead. Right? And then soften the knees, bring your hands to your thighs. Reach the crown of the head out long and come to standing. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. And exhale your hands to your heart. So we're going to flow, right? So move, breathe, enjoy this space on your mat to cultivate some gratitude and delight. So on an inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, gently dive forward. So have any props that you need to help you get up and down off the floor safely. Inhale, fingertips under the knees. Spine long, and then exhale, soften the knees. Take the left leg way back in high lunge. Immediately setting up for warrior 2, heel to arch alignment. Sweep your shoulders over your hips. Right. Maybe inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. And take 2 breaths here. And then safely bring yourself back to the front of the mat, right? Maybe hang out in this high runner's lunge for a moment. And then lift your hips up and back as you bring your nose toward that front knee. And then exhale, soften again. And inhale into the top of your push-up plank. Maybe on knees today. Exhale, Chaturanga. Let your hips drop down. Firm up those legs as you push your feet into the mat. Tuck your tailbone and inhale, gentle cobra. Shoulders up, just gaze at the front edge of your mat. And exhale, forehead back to the mat. So squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift your heels, legs stay straight. Maybe you want to interlace your hands behind you and reach your knuckles towards your heels and take a breath. Exhaling, release that. Reverse your push-up onto the knees and find your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk it out again. And take that left leg up in the air. Or find your way safely to high lunge with your left leg forward, however that works. We're going to take a twist here, so hands, fingertips on the floor, maybe a block. Use that left inner thigh, pulling the inner thigh towards the ribs. Twist. Maybe the arm comes up in the air. Maybe you want to tuck it behind you. Go a little deeper. And exhaling, release. Bring yourself back to a forward fold. We're going to use that infinity symbol, that little figure 8. Just hold elbow to elbow. Go around to the left. And swing around to the right. Come back to neutral. Inhale, fingertips under the knees. Half forward fold. Exhaling, hang one more time. Then reverse your dive. Fingertips up in the air. And exhale your hands to your heart. So shift your body weight into your right leg. And right here at the front of your mat, find your tree pose. So holding onto the wall or a chair if it's helpful. Maybe you want to put your foot into your upper thigh. Keep lifting up out of that standing leg. Maybe grow your tree. And come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to go right to the other side. I'm going to turn around so I don't have my back to you. So inhaling, sweep your arms up. Exhaling, soften, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips under the knees, halfway up. Now take the right leg way back in high lunge. Down and inward goes that back heel. Lengthen your spine as you stack your shoulders over your hips for warrior 2. Maybe straighten that front leg once. And exhale, bend. Go deep. Feeling all that energy and length and strength in your body. Then safely windmill yourself around to the top of the mat. So our bodies can do all kinds of amazing things. Inhaling, top of the push-up plank. Exhaling, Chaturanga, either on your knees or your toes. Inhaling, Cobra, or maybe you're ready for an up dog. Straighten your arms and coming onto the tops of your feet. One more little Chaturanga down to the mat. Drop your hips. All right, and then reverse your push-up, knees or toes. And come find your downward facing dog. Walk it out again. And then when you're ready, take your right leg up in the air. Safely find your high or low lunge. Right foot forward, back knee could be down. We're going to take a twist, so stay light on those left fingertips. Inhaling toward that front leg. Maybe wrap your arm around you. Exhaling, gently release. Find your forward fold. We'll use that little infinity symbol again. So swing your elbows around to the right and then to the left. Feeling it in the legs and the low back. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhaling, hang. Reverse your dive. Fingertips up in the air. And exhale your hands to your heart. And right away, tree pose on the other side. So right foot into the calf or maybe above the knee. Use your drishti, come back to your breath and that intention that you set. You could even bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And then gently release and walk it out. So find Tadasana, mountain pose, and inhale, take your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, and then release your index fingers. Do a little side stretch here, right? So inhale, get tall, and exhale, fold straight to the left. Couple breaths here. You could let your hips push out to the right. Inhale through center, and exhale over to the right. And inhale, come on back to center. Get really, really tall. If it feels safe for you, we're going to gently do a standing back bend. So drop your tailbone like you're folding over a giant exercise ball or the top of a ladder. And then inhale, come on back up, and exhale your hands to your heart. So we're going to bring ourselves back down to the mat. So inhale, you're going to take your right leg back, and exhale, gently fold forward, right? So forward folds and back bends, just be safe. As you take your right leg back, find your high lunge, right? So no practice is perfect. We forgot to stretch our hamstring on this side, so lift your hips up and back, taking your nose toward your knee. And exhaling, gently fold, drop that back knee, come to all fours, and then have a seat. So we're going to finish with Shavasana. Okay, so we'll do the left leg forward first. Right foot is on the inner thigh. My hips are facing the short edge of my mat. I'm going to inhale, get really, really tall. This is where you might want to have a strap, right? You can wrap it around your foot. So we'll walk our rib cage over that front leg. Maybe do a little rocking. Exhaling. You could keep your spine straight. Maybe you find your foot. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the side body. A couple of breaths here. If it feels safe, you could drop your head toward your knee. So our bodies can move in so many different ways. Inhaling, bring your shoulders back over your hips and decide if you want to take a heart opener by placing your right hand behind you and lifting up onto your knee and that foot. Just open in that front body. And exhaling, gently release. Stretch that right leg out. Give it a shake. Bring the left foot in. Inhale and get tall. And exhale, fold over that right leg. So take a moment to check in. Maybe you feel a little bit differently on this side. Use your strap or find your foot. Slowly and gently using those exhales to deepen. One more deep exhale. Inhaling. Use your hands to bring your shoulders back over your hips and decide if you want to plant that left hand and open up your heart coming onto the knee and the foot. Lifting, stay light. Just make more space. And exhaling, gently release. So I'm going to plant my feet. I'm going to safely roll myself down to the mat. So today for Shavasana, I'm going to do legs up the wall. You might want to try it. So as you exhale, maybe to the count of 5, roll yourself down onto the mat. Use your hands if it's helpful. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything go for a moment. So I'm going to grab hold of my blanket, pad my head, a little luxury, and scoop myself to the wall. So I got my hips near the wall. I'm going to swivel myself around and then tuck this blanket under my head. So Shavasana, the most important pose of all. You could rest one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, or simply let your arms relax out to the side. So don't cheat yourself out of this opportunity to delight in the stillness, in the ways your body serves you, in the bits of beauty around you. Nothing to do till you hear my voice again. As you get ready to move again, feel the length in your spine from the tailbone all the way out through the crown of the head. Maybe take your arms overhead like a big morning stretch. So if your legs up the wall to come out, but you're going to draw your knees into your chest, or wherever you are, you can draw your knees into your chest. And then gently roll to one side. You could stay here resting for a few breaths. Or gently push yourself up to seated. I think this quote was attributed to Albert Einstein. The most important decision we make is to decide whether we believe in a friendly or hostile universe. So in this last week of Advent and Christmas time, remember to find some beauty, things to delight in. And 2,000 years ago, it wasn't a perfect world, and it isn't now. And yet, the universe is God-soaked. So inhaling, bow your head to your own heart. Give yourself that mental pat on the back for showing up. And then go be your best for others. The spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Namaste.